Hello, everyone. My name is Elaine Ng. I'm from the Oticon Global Headquarters in Denmark. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a little bit of the future direction of our research development, research and technology development. So the cognitive control of a hearing aid is the topic that I will focus a little bit more about. So how do we develop technology? So we develop a technology based on how we hear and how we understand speech. So we have acoustic signal that we hear with our ears, but the signal actually interpreted in our brain. So it's a much higher level. So for instance, if you are in a challenging, noisy situation, where, if you have a good hearing, then you can pick up what you want to hear rather easily, I would say. However, if you have a hearing loss, then this is not as easy as normal hearing. It will make you very exhausted, and then you don't actually want to be in that situation for too long. And this actually tells us how brains actually process sound. So when you hear, you have a mixture of speech and noise together. And what your brain does is that it separates, for instance, the voice of your friend, from the voices of a bunch of strangers, and then you focus on what you want to listen to. And this is actually what usually hearing aid users, they want from the hearing aid. They want the hearing aid to amplify the sounds that they want to hear, not other sounds. And this is how the cognitive control of a hearing aid project comes in. We call it PechaKucha. But you may wonder, how is it possible how a hearing aid can know what you want to listen to, right? This sounds really strange. But actually, a previous study shows that attention of a listener can be detected through the intracranial brain responses called EEG. So in this project, they thought, okay, maybe we can use EEG to tell us where the person wants to attend to. So this is the cognitive control of a hearing aid project, where we want to feed the responses from the brain to the hearing aid so that it helps you to focus on what you want to hear. This is a collaboration between many institutes and also the Oticon R&D Research Center called Ericsson. And this is funded by EU project. So you may wonder, okay, how do we get the brain signals, right? Usually you do electrocap on the left-hand side or headband, but in this project, we're thinking about maybe we can do it in a hearing aid where we pick up the EEG signal from the ear canal. So you can see here is the prototype of a hearing aid, and in the next picture, you're gonna see the electrodes are actually attached to the ear mode so that they can pick up the signal from the ear. And in the coming slide, you're gonna see a demonstration of this PechaKucha project where the researchers try to steer the hearing aid by switching attention. So there were two talkers on the screen, one man, one female. And then you can see how he switches attention. Here he comes.
Legetøj var made in China. Det synes vi var helt naturligt i 90'erne.
Arbejdspladser er forsvundet. Flere virksomheder har det svært. Utryghed for os til at holde.
Vi vil købe mobiltelefoner, der ikke alene er made in China, men også opfundet og udviklet.
Men netop
That was the vision.
Right, that was the vision, to build a hearing aid that can capture users' intention, what the users want to hear, and then feed it back to the hearing aid, and then the hearing aid delivers what the user wants to hear. So you can say this is a new way of compensating for hearing loss. And if you're interested in this project, you're welcome to visit Ericsson's website or PechaKucha's official webpage. So after I've talked about cognitive-driven technology, we need to measure the benefit of such a technology. So at Oticon, we usually use two main research tools. One is to measure listening effort. The other one is to remember of conversation or what's being heard. So, so the first one, listening effort, we usually use pupillometry to quantify the effort that we use to listen speech in noise, you can say. So when you hear a sentence, we use the eye tracker that shows in the middle of the screen to record the pupil size. And then in the coming slide, you're gonna see a sample pupil recording where a person listened to noise and then speech. So here it comes. So the first few seconds, there was just noise in the background, and then here comes a sentence. And then you can see the pupil dilates when the sentence comes in. This indicates effortful listening. And this is the end of the sentence. So listening effort was the first measure. The second one was the speech recall, how much word you can remember out of a conversation. So as I said, having hearing loss, it makes you harder to focus, and it also makes you harder to remember what's being said. So combining with pupillometry and this speech recall, we have been at Oticon developing new measures to measure, you can say, cognitive benefit of hearing aid technology. So we believe that what we can have from the hearing technology is beyond speech understanding. That is something that is at a more higher level, at a brain level. And so just now I talked about, okay, a cognitive technology, and then also cognitive benefit. And then the most important thing is that the user will use the hearing aid more frequently to get those benefits. So that's why we have this app called Hearing Fitness that encourages a good hearing habit. So what it does is it takes data from the hearing aid and also from like other wearable devices that you may have. And then we have the app that gather all the data to look at the hearing habit, health status of the person. So the app will give an overall idea of the overall health, hearing status of a person, and then from their habit, we encourage the users to grow a more healthy listening habit so that they can stay more active and participate more active in their social life, like here. This is especially important for elderly because staying active may prevent them from having dementia. And recently, a research actually pointed out that hearing loss is one of the most important factors to, you can say, that can potentially modify the risk for having dementia and cognitive decline. So to conclude, Oticon, we have a holistic understanding of hearing, hearing loss, and life quality and health. So, and then the brain is actually the key elements that links everything together, our research, technology development, and also hearing and healthcare. Thank you for your attention.